go status?
T-minus 30 seconds.
The Morning Mayhem.
TPA script running. Second stage LHU securing started.
Ready for launch?
Ready to embark on a national security mission for the United States of America.
News Talk 92.
Range green. Igniters armed. Row ignition.
KBEU.
4, 3, and liftoff.
The Morning Mayhem is on. The Morning Mayhem is pre-recorded and for entertainment purposes only.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
And let's jam here on this Thursday morning, everybody, as we are getting a little day closer to a Friday. But it's not Friday just yet. We got dogs at large. Dogs are running around the neighborhood and terrorizing the neighborhood. Manslaughter charge against 30-year-old. First in county in overdose death. And the People's Convoy, truckers are pelted with eggs by angry California residents. Remember what I was talking about yesterday with the stuff with the parents and the school board? A suspect in Hot Springs Amber Alert kidnapping pleads not guilty. No surprise there. Arkansas Morse wins second Trooper of the Year award. And COVID-19 in Arkansas, active cases continue with a slight increase. All that and more right here, News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Good morning, everybody, here on this Thursday morning. So, I've been working on this story here past few days, and this has been going on since about Easter Friday, and we are still working on the conclusion of the story, so we'll go ahead and get you started here on what this is about. We got some dogs that are running at large out there, and these dogs have actually caused quite the damage. And not only that, have killed the house cat. And possibly, not sure yet, but could have also killed a neighbor's dog as well. So here's the deal. We've got a police statement here where we've got these dogs at large, and there was a call from a victim who stated that 2 dogs had entered their home and killed the house cat. So the victim, who lives in the Cherokee Hills subdivision, stated that they were not home, but was informed by a neighbor that there were 2 dogs in the victim's yard. And the victim asked the neighbor to open the gate and let the dogs out and check on the house cat. So while the neighbor entered the victim's home, the neighbor saw the cat, and the cat was dead in the living room. The neighbor identified the owner of the dogs, which was oh man, I was just working on this too. Seconda Flanagan, and the neighbor states that they had already spoken to Flanagan and told her what happened. So what the witness is saying, the neighbor here, who also lives in the Cherokee Hills subdivision, stated that they observed 2 dogs in the neighbor's yard. So the dogs were in the backyard of the home of the victim. Then the neighbor stated that they called the victim and then asked if there were supposed to even be dogs in the backyard. And the victim of the house informed the neighbor that they don't have dogs. The victim asked the neighbor to open the gate and let them out and go check on the house. So as the neighbor was walking around to let the dogs out, a car approached and asked if the neighbor had seen these dogs. And in the vehicle with the Shkunda, Flanagan and Nicholas Fogel, they were identified as the owners of the dogs. Now, Fogel picked up the male dog and placed that one into the vehicle, according to the neighbor, and the female dog ran down the street, then came back, sniffed his hand, then jumped in the neighbor's vehicle. Fogel then removed that dog and put the dog in his own vehicle. That would be the female dog. So then after they left, the neighbor entered the home of the victim, then found the cat in the living room floor dead, missing a bunch of fur and a bunch of puncture marks. The neighbor said they contacted Fogel and told him what happened. So the officers that came out asked the neighbor if there were cameras or anything showing the dogs entering the home, and the neighbor said no. So the responding officer also asked if there were any injuries or blood on the dog, and they stated that they didn't notice. They also stated that the dog door cover that was there had been knocked off and was no longer attached to the door. So basically, these two dogs got out and they ran down the street from where they are, and they went over a block and down a ways. And for some reason, they just got motivated on that house and focused on that house, went into the backyard, busted through the doggy door, got into the house, tore the house up, tore up the furniture, allegedly. Dogs have, they're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Just, dogs too. So allegedly, they went in there and tore up the furniture. They found the house cat, terrorized the cat, and then eventually killed the cat. So that's where we're at now. So then the officer went over to make contact with Flanning, who lives over at 1081 Caddo Street. So Flanning stated that the dogs had gotten out a few days before and had gotten out again that morning. So stated that the dogs are mostly inside dogs, and when they realized that they were gone, they started looking for them. So the responding officer recognized the description of the dogs and was told that it had been in the pound a few days prior. So the responding officer explained to Flanagan that she would be receiving a citation for the dogs at large, and explained to her the ordinance for pit bull type dogs in the city. So the responding officer instructed her to visit the city of Camden's website where she could find that ordinance. And we do have a copy of that ordinance at yesradioworks.com. So if you too would like to see what kind of dogs are on that list, or maybe you're like, I wonder if my dog is on that list, go check out that list. It's there at yesradioworks.com. Click under the news tab. I might need to see if Sandy's on that list. Oh, she gets pretty vicious when it comes to plastic bags floating around in the air and stuff. So anyhow, she stated that she would get in compliance, and the officer gave her 1 week to do so. Due to conflict with the officer and Flanagan's schedules, the responding officer met with her on Wednesday, April 20th of 2022, and issued her 2 citations for failure to confine the dogs and no vaccinations. The dogs were removed from the residence by the family until they were, in code and compliance. So that all happened on Easter or Good Friday. So that was April 15th. Then on the 26th, just about 11 days later, around 1 in the afternoon, the responding officers heard a radio transmission from Chief Woody requesting that Anthony Jones, Unit 430, meet him at the Cherokee Hill subdivision in reference to an animal attack. So when the officers got there, they noticed that they made contact with Chief Woody and with the previous victim from back on Good Friday, and a new complainant. Now, this complainant was upset because they had just returned from taking their dog to Camden Animal Hospital. The complainant stated that they heard the dogs barking in the backyard, and when they went outside, saw the 2 pit bulls attacking their Labrador. They chased the pit bull off and got the Labrador in their vehicle and to the animal hospital. So the complainant said the Labrador had its left ear badly torn and its scrotum had been ripped open. And the previous victim stated, the one with the dead cat, stated that these are the same 2 pit bulls that had entered their residence through the doggy door and damaged their furniture and killed the cat earlier in the month. Both stated the dogs lived at the second house or third house on the left there on Caddo Street, and it was the Tan residence. So the officers and Chief Woody and ACO Jones went to 1081 Caddo Street, which they identified from the victims and other description, and they made contact with Nicholas Fogel. Fogel stated that he brought the dogs back to Camden, and believing that he had met the requirements laid out by ACO Pinson. Fogel said he'd taken the animals back to Elliott after finding them out of their pen this morning. ACO Jones stated the pen did not meet the requirements as the roof was not completely covered. So Fogel voluntarily took ACO Jones and the officer to a residence on State Highway 376 in Elliott, where ACO Jones took custody That would be Animal Control Officer Jones. In case you're wondering, who's ACO Jones? It's Animal Control Officer. I just think, everybody might not be following along with what I'm saying here. So anyhow, Animal Control Officer Jones took custody of the animals and then transported by Jones to the Camden City Pound. And that's and then the police officer went over to Camden Animal Hospital, where Dr. Fields informed that the Labrador had lost his left ear. An emergency neuter had been performed, and the dog had suffered from various puncture wounds. Additionally, the dog had broken one of his canine teeth, and that had to be removed. And according to the complainant, the vet bill was already hitting $500. This was getting pretty pricey. So these animals seem to attack other animals every time they get out of their non-approved pen, and the owners keep bringing them back to the city and violating the city ordinance. The only solution may be a destruction order for the animals. Now, that's in the report. That's not me. That's not me saying that. That's I believe that would be ACO Jones' recommendation. I believe So don't get all bent out of shape, because I hate to see an animal get destroyed. But don't get bent out of shape and go, Doc Bryce said that Jones likes to kill animals. No. Let's not get crazy there. No. I'm saying that the recommendation would be maybe to destroy the animals, since the animals, whenever they get out, they seem to tear damage property and threaten lives as well. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Mikey was outside playing, and some lady had come up to me with the dog back when there was just one dog, and said this dog came up to her and was biting her and stuff. And I'm like, okay. And the dog wasn't doing anything, she's holding the dog or whatever, and telling me that the dog, she's walking. She's just doing her walking exercises. And then telling me that she doesn't know where the dog came from. And for some reason, I guess just because she happened to lock eyes with us being outside, that she gave the dog to me. And I'm like, okay. And so I took the dog across the street and said, hey, man, your dog got out and stuff. And so that was pretty much the end of that. I didn't understand what she was saying, though, because the dog wasn't doing anything. She's like, this dog is scary. This is a very scary dog, and it's doing things to me, and I don't like it. It's chewing at me. And I'm looking, and the dog's not chewing on anything. The dog's just standing there like, hey, you got some kibbles? I like kibbles. But that was it. The dog was just, I don't know where that came from. But that was my first encounter with the dogs. And after that, I don't know. I'm never home. I don't know, man. So anyhow, very sad situation, though. And very unfortunate. And like I said, I hate to hear an animal be destroyed, but that may be what happened after what happened, though. Because, when it comes to a dog tasting some blood there, who knows what the possibilities are, and if that dog, because, it's, even if they bite a person, they usually end up destroying the dog. Once, and I guess that's what it is once they taste that blood, they are forever ruined or something like that, and they immediately get destroyed. So we'll keep you up to date, because this story isn't over yet. They have a court date set for next Wednesday at 9 a.m., and we'll find out what happens from that, because the judge is involved in this one here as well. So we'll keep you informed on what's going on with that. So we got a week away, so the story is still in progress, and we'll keep you informed. All right, I've got to take a break. News Talk 92 KBEU. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Coming up on the bottom of the sixth here in just a little bit. Talking about them dogs are running rampant over there in the Cherokee Edition. And we've got the ordinance that's up on the station page, or the station's webpage. And you can visit that at yesradioworks.com. You can go up there and see, just click under the news tab. And that's up on the left side of the homepage there. And then just click stories and stuff, and you'll see that on there. You'll see the whole blown story of what we were just talking about. And then you'll also see that ordinance there as well. Also, don't forget about the podcast. I'm kind of starting to get the hang of this here, so I mean, it's a work in progress. Since we've switched some things around, we're not doing the Facebook Live anymore, but we do want to keep our after 5 listeners in the loop, because we were getting a lot of traffic after 5 p.m. in the afternoon when the show was live at 6 a.m. So the bulk of our audience was actually in the afternoon when people are going home. And the only way we could figure is that, people in the area, they get to work at 6. So the show's live at 6, so they don't get to hear it, so they catch up on the way back. And if we did away with the Facebook Live, then that means that they would have to listen to the show live. And that wasn't going to work, so we were trying to figure out how could we do it to where we're not doing Facebook Live, but we could still have an archive or on demand, and podcast came up. So we got that up there. And, of course, as soon as we get the podcast put together, we'll share the link, and then you can download the link. But grab that RSS feed if you're using a podcast app, and then that way every time a new podcast goes up, the RSS feed will be updated through your app, and it goes out and just finds it automatically. You don't even have to try. It just does it. It's a beautiful thing. So check that out. Doc Bryce Productions, LLC, and we'll also post it over there on the Radio Works Facebook page as well. So, oh man, my sinuses are just driving me nuts. I don't know about anybody else, but it's just, I just kind of got that drainage and stuff, and you got the sniffles and everything, and you just constantly, and then the sneezing. Oh, the sneezing! Stop with the sneezing already. It's just driving me nuts. I can't do it. So, and then I'm also waiting on this page to load too, because I don't know what it's doing. It's thinking about something here. There we go. Now it went to the bottom. Oh, you're killing me. Would you just pick a part of the page? You know what? We'll read from the middle if we need to. I mean, that's cool. We can do that. We don't mind. We don't mind reading from the middle. Or the end. Maybe the beginning. Something in there we go. Dang it, would you stop flipping around? I'm trying to get this thing to load, and it's like up, down, middle, up, down, end, top, middle. Pick a part of the page so we can read it. We have to wait for the ads to load. That's why. So a manslaughter charge has been filed against a bald knob 30-year-old who is accused of distributing illicit substances resulting in the death of a user. And that's according to the White County Sheriff's Office, too. So Lieutenant Scott Selders, Public Information Officer for the Sheriff's Office, called it a first for White County. Jonathan Shaver was arrested Friday on a $200,000 bond after investigators that started with an overdose death led to the execution of search warrants, seizures, and evidence and arrests, which provided probable cause for the issuance of a warrant for Mr. Shaver. And so they got him. They took him into custody. So the arrest of Mr. Shaver is a significant development in the investigation, but not the conclusion, though. The White County Sheriff's Office and Searcy Police continue to work with the Central Arkansas Drug Task Force to develop actionable information on those that bring narcotics into White County. So stop bringing. They just don't want, you know what? Just go around White County. If you're able to bring drugs through White County, just go around. They don't want them in there. Cedar said the arrests is part of the law enforcement fighting back against the rise of unintentional overdoses. And unfortunately, we had a coworker die of an overdose. Cute girl too, and I hate it when I have to think about her too, because every now and then Facebook will remind me of her. And at the time when she OD'd, she had a 4-year-old daughter, and the boyfriend was this is all alleged, by the way. I mean, the boyfriend was a bouncer at a club, and supposedly he got a hold of some stuff, allegedly, and then he, got her all cranked up and everything, and then she OD'd, and then he's like, oh my gosh, and then, hid the stuff, called 911, allegedly. Called 911, I was like, I don't know what happened, and they said, well, she overdosed, and he's like, oh my gosh, I have no idea where she got that from. I had no idea that she was using. Huh. And so, yeah, we all looked at the dude, and we're like, we know what you did. And we know that you took her life, allegedly. So, yeah. And now, I mean, that was, God, how long ago? That was, had to be going on almost 10 years. That means that girl's got to be in her teens by now, without her mom. And then, oh, God, it just really drives me nuts. Just sit there and think about that. Moving on, though. remember I was talking yesterday? Oh, wait a minute. You know what? We'll hang on to that. I got to take a break. We'll be right back. News Talk 92 KBEU. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas, off the bottom of the 6th. Everybody working our way now on that 7. And you should be dancing. That's what you should be doing. Getting all motivated and everything. Waking up. Just don't do it with hot coffee. That's all I'm saying. You can dance all you want. Just don't do it with the hot coffee because you will spill it. I have learned that from personal experience myself. I'm speaking from experience. Before the break, I was going to get into this thing here. I was going to talk about this convoy, truckers and stuff and things, because that's what truckers like to do. They like to do that convoy thing, convoy. That's what they love to do, that convoy. Yeah, they do. Anyhow, yesterday, I was talking about how the educators on the national level were very scared. They're so scared because you're stupid parents, and you don't know anything because you don't have a degree. You don't have a diploma. You're stupid. And we're trying to save your children from being stupid like you by teaching them what they need to know, what we feel they need to know. Remember that whole conversation yesterday? And then how they're scared because, these parents, they come into these school board meetings and they point their fingers very, very, rigid. I'm going to tell you what, you got another thing. Say, and you sit there and jab your finger every time, for every syllable, you just jab your finger and you're pointing it. And then you raise your voice. You scare these people. And they're like, we need the Department of Justice in here to round these people up. Oh, my God. Any one of these people could just go berserk at any moment. Okay. So remember that, right? How many times have you heard at a school board meeting that somebody went berserk, shot the place up, started throwing stuff like, menstrual blood or tampons, used tampons? Or eggs, anything like that? Anyone? You really didn't hear it. Okay, so you've got the People's Convoy. It's a bunch of truckers, they're protesting the whole mandatory COVID thing. So they just happen to be rolling through California. I should have just said to hell with California. California doesn't need it. I tell you what, the truckers just need to just cut California off. And just say, you know what? If you want it, go to Oregon. If you want it, go to Nevada. But we're not going into California. You know what? We'll drop it right here at the state line, and you can pick it up yourself. Other than that, we ain't coming in. So anyhow, you got these People's Convoy, right? And the protesters were met with less than a warm welcome when they reached a California city. And all these angry residents were seen in viral videos hurling eggs at the truck drivers and their vehicles. Now, you realize what eggs do to a paint job, right? That's destruction of property. That's vandalism. These guys are throwing stuff, but yet the National Board of Teachers or Principals or Superintendents or whatever are scared to death about you pointing your finger and raising your voice. They're scared of you, but, people throwing eggs and stuff, that's just that's a peaceful protest. They're just peacefully protesting. There's nothing to see here. So anyhow, a group of angry Oakland residents comprised largely of young people pelted eggs at the convoy of truckers and did a local media report. And then, or said a local, really? So the local media report, wow, that's pretty generic, isn't it? The local media report says that, as you can see behind me, these truckers are being pelted with eggs. Residents could be heard saying, get out of our town, as they're throwing eggs at the convoy as it passed by a Safeway supermarket in the video that was posted on YouTube. The People's Convoy has been inspired by several similar protests that earlier took place in Canada against COVID vaccine mandates and abortion bills. So one person saying, this is not freedom, man. You're a distributor, said one woman. Oh, excuse me. You're a distributor, said one woman, confronting a man live streaming the protest on Twitch. You don't have an opinion because you're a truck driver and you're supposed to just be delivering my toilet paper and my Doritos and my gummy cheese and everything else. Shut up and get in your truck and drive. So anyhow, several truckers decorated their trucks with stickers that read, we the people, and shouted freedom. They were doing, they were exercising their constitutional rights. Except these people don't like it when you exercise your constitutional rights if it doesn't coincide with their idea of your constitutional rights. I mean, don't mind me. I wasn't using my civil liberties anyways. So, one protester shouted, we're U.S. citizens, man. We believe in the Constitution, and your legislation are a direct assault on our freedoms of this country, you puke. One live streamer working for the People's Convoy conceded to the Bay Area residents that it's convenient because there's a Safeway right there that sells eggs. Last week, East Bay Assemblywoman Buffy Wicks had to call police to her home when about 20 drivers started honking near her home in the Rock Ridge neighborhood and crowded the road. So they demand that Miss Wicks come out of her home and face them. Ooh. It's like taking off a bunch of bikers. Remember that? When they said, you bikers got to wear your helmets. And they're like, no, we don't. And they're like, we're going to ticket you. And they're like, watch this. And then they all just sat there and did circles around the Capitol until the legislatures were just too scared because some of these bikes backfired and said, oh my God, they're shooting at us. It's a backfire, dude. They're supposed to do that. They can make them do that. I swear. They're so scared of everything. Hey, all you gotta do is just raise your voice and point your finger. And, oh my God, I'm being threatened. So anyhow, let's see. So Mercury News reported that People's Convoy protesters had been around Mrs. Wicks' house for about an hour. They were hanging around for about an hour doing that stuff there and just scaring her. And no one was arrested. That's just so wrong. These people were so rude. Yeah, okay. So the left side can pelt you with eggs and everything. And that's fine. So, I mean, you can't arrest us. We're exercising our constitutional rights. But you do the same thing back to them. Arrest that man. They assaulted me. They are violating my constitutional rights. I'm telling you, man. And the National School Board is afraid of you because you don't want to wear a mask. You don't want your kid to wear a mask. And they're scared to death of you. Let's see. Bullhorns and loud trucks lend no legitimacy to baseless conspiracy theories from the state protesters. And, it's funny. All these conspiracy theories have been coming like reality in 2 weeks? Give it 2 weeks and the conspiracy theory is now reality. It's no longer a conspiracy or a theory. It's actual. So, a similar convoy of truckers had arrived in Sacramento last week to protest vaccine mandates. The People's Convoy also attempted to plant U.S. flags on lawns of one of Nancy Pelosi's homes, one of her homes. That actually says homes in the Bay Area, like she has more than one home over there. But they couldn't decide which one was hers. So they were like, you know what? Ugh. I would just start stabbing flags in everybody's yard. To hell with it. Who cares? Eventually, you would have found her yard and put a flag in there, and then she would have gone nuts and everything because, oh my God, there's this flag in my yard, and it's waving in the wind. It's waving at me. I don't like it. It's so scary. It's crazy. That dude, the Morris dude, speaking of scary and crazy, that Morris dude, the one who kidnapped Trinity and created the Amber Alert. Here, I got a few more minutes here. I think I can get this in here real quick. I don't know why. Every time they show a picture of him, he's always shirtless. Why is that? The man accused of kidnapping a 17-year-old in Hot Springs last week pleaded, guess what? Not guilty on all charges Tuesday. Samuel Bowling Jr., 38, appeared in the court of Garland County Detention Center facing charges of kidnapping, aggravated robbery, first-degree false imprisonment, and first-degree battery. So he got accused of all this stuff, and he's like, nope, didn't do it. Nope, send it back. So, of course, there were no cameras in there or anything. Hang on a second. Boy, that thing is really getting to me. It's like, wow, man, I'm really getting choked up all about this. The story here. Now I'm starting to tear up. It's the sinuses, man. I'm telling you. Somebody's going to be like, you got COVID. It's like, no, it's not COVID, man. It's sinuses. So the judge issued a no-contact order for Boiling to keep away from the teen who had allegedly kidnapped last Monday. Dela Fair, 19, is also facing the same charges in this case. The pair are accused of kidnapping the teen after police said she was headed to her vehicle after leaving work. Fortunately, the teen was safely located a day after her alleged abduction. Boiling is scheduled to appear back in court on the 28th of June. Fair is scheduled for her first hearing on Monday. So there you go. There's more to come with that. All right, I got to take a break. Be right back. News Talk 92 KBEU. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. There you go, a little mashup there for you. 9 Inch Nails with AC/DC. You got Back in Black and Closer to God, but that ain't what people call that 9 Inch Nails song. No, they call it something else. I'd tell you what it is, but I can't because we're on the air. We're on radio, and y'all know, if you know the song, y'all know what I'm talking about. You'll be like, oh, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Because that ain't the name of the song, but we call the song that instead. Even though that ain't the name of the song. Oh, I know. All right, we are getting close to wrapping up the 6 o'clock hour, getting you into the 7 o'clock hour. We have the round table coming up at 7:20, or 7:30 actually, and we should have our special guest in, which will be Dr. Jara Smith will be our doctor for today. Yes, and she'll be coming in answering your questions and stuff. By the way, if you've got a private question that you like to ask and you just don't want everybody to know that it's you with that rash, 501-313-0944. Totally anonymous. You can just put your message up there. We don't know it's you unless you tell us it's you. Now, if you're sitting there saying, hey, this is James over here in Harmony Grove, I got this rash. Ask the doctor about this rash. Don't tell him it's me, though. Just tell him about my rash. Remember, this is James over in Harmony Grove. That's the only way we're going to know it's you. Other than that, though, if you just sit there and post your question at 501-313-0944, then we have no idea it's you. Of course, you can always call it in 836-9559. Get in on the request line over there on the 195 side. And also, don't forget about the podcast, because now we moved it over from 104.5 podcast and brought it over here. So now we got a podcast up over here. I got a podcast. I got two iPhones and a microphone. Yeah, that's it. 2 iPods and a microphone. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I'm talking about. 2 iPods and a microphone. Scratch it. So anyhow, we will post those podcasts up there later. I've explained before, because, you know, the show is taped, and because we can't do it live, and because of all this other stuff. Can't do Facebook Live. Kind of hard to do Facebook Live when nobody's in the studio right now. So we don't have that. So the best thing that we can offer in absence of that is the podcast. So if you're trying to catch up after work or later in your day, or you want to take us on the go when you can't listen live, just go to the podcast, put it in your favorite app. You can actually play it right out of Facebook. I did it. And you know how you go up Facebook on your phone? But you have to leave your phone on. Remember when you did Facebook Live and you couldn't turn your phone off, which would just like kill your battery? Well, this one, you can actually pull it up on Facebook on the page, the Doc Bryce page, Radio Works page, whichever one, and play it and then turn your phone off. Well, not turn it off. I mean, you can turn your screen off. And the thing will still play, because I was curious. I said, I wonder if this thing will do. Sure enough, it did. Then you're not killing your battery by having your screen on the whole time. So it's not bad. We're doing all right. Yeah, we are. Let's see. That suspect there. Yeah, they're going. We'll keep following up on that story, too, with Trinity. I'm sorry, man. My sinuses are just killing me right now. Arkansas's, because that's possessive, Morris wins second Trooper of the Year award. He wins the award, everybody. Yeah! So Arkansas State Trooper Spencer Morris has been awarded a second nationally sanctioned title of National Trooper of the Year. There you go. We'll give him a little popo salute right there. See, we got one for the popo. See, I just got that burst, and now I got the one for the fire department. Yeah, they get a longer one, though. Anyhow, so yeah, National Trooper of the Year. And according to the press release, the American Association of Troopers, or State Troopers, an announcement on April 27th that Morris was selected from a field of 27 state troopers from across the U.S. to receive the Esteemed Trooper of the Year honor for his exhibited service and bravery and extreme selflessness while protecting the public. So good old Morris there, he's 34. He's out there in Crittenden County, a 4-year veteran of the Arkansas State Police, is assigned to the Highway Patrol Division, Troop D. D is in Doc Bryce, everybody. Headquartered at Forest City. And last month, Morris was named National Trooper of the Year by the International Association of Chiefs of Police, State and Provisional Division. So AAST, which announced today's award, is a fraternal organization. Fraternal. They're a frat, you know. They get together, you know, they play cop games and stuff, you know. Anyhow, it's an organization comprised of more than 3,000 state troopers nationwide. The presentation of both National Troopers of the Year awards were based on the brave actions of Trooper Morris that occurred on December 16th of 2021 while he was on patrol along Interstate 55 in Crittenden County. And Morris answered a radio call. Excuse me, that thing is just driving me nuts. Anyhow, he answered a radio call from the United States Marshal Service. See, the big boys were in town, requesting assistance in the apprehension of a South Carolina fugitive believed to be armed and considered dangerous. The fugitive was known to be traveling along I-55 in the West Memphis area. That's when Trooper Morris was the closest law enforcement officer in the area who would have been able to intercept the vehicle carrying the man wanted by the marshals. So Trooper Morris observed the suspect's vehicle. See, I'm telling you, man, them troopers, they're sneaky. They are. I bet you he narrowed them eyes down and he trained those eyes in, you know, and he's got those little crow's feet kind of going there and everything because that's the eyes of a hunter. And that's what he was doing. So as he was observing the suspect's vehicle, he began to position his patrol car. See what I tell you? For a traffic stop. And as he closed in on the car, which had entered into the Memphis city limits, multiple gunshots from the suspect's vehicle was directed at Trooper Morris, with one round striking him in the upper chest. Trooper Morris's body armor slowed that round, causing a minor wound. And despite the injury of the imminent threat to himself and other motorists traveling through Memphis, Trooper Morris returned gunfire at the fleeing suspect. Local police officers soon joined Trooper Morris with the assistance of paramedics, extracted Morris from the scene, moving him to a nearby hospital where doctors later determined the wound was non-life threatening. So let's see. So since he's recovered, he's told many people around Arkansas and in other states that Spencer is just one of more than 500 Arkansas State troopers who make the Arkansas State Police one of the best law enforcement agencies anywhere. Hands down, because they're sneaky. Certainly the best in Arkansas, said Colonel Bill Bryant, director of the Arkansas State Police. I'm telling you, they need to have that put on their cars. Sneaky and mean. Because they are. You can look right, I'm telling you, and you know you've done it. You could be sitting there cruising along, you know you're speeding, and you're just cruising along, and at the last, and you see him right there. You see him, but you don't do anything. You don't slow down. You don't speed up. You just cruise right on by, and you sit there and go, and you think to yourself, why did I just do that? Well, it's not like they were hiding, you know, camouflaged up in the trees or anything like that. They're sitting out there in broad daylight in those white cars. How could you not see them? But for some reason, they seem to just blend in with their environment, and you don't see them. And then all of a sudden, once you get past them, there they are. They're right behind you, and you're like, oh, man. Well, that's not how it happened with me and Trooper Parker there. Actually, he was in front of me. He was in the right lane, and I was in the left lane, and I was accelerating. And I just went on up there, because I was coming up on the bridge. You know how it is when you get up on that bridge, on that hill. You need to accelerate so you can get over the bridge. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was trying to get over the bridge. Well, I came up a little too fast there on Parker Trooper, and he saw me from behind, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm not even going to try and fake it. No, I mean, you know how it is. You pretend, you know, like, oh, was I speeding? I didn't know. Or you know, you kind of drive a little longer. Like, they're right behind you, right? And they're like, dude, I got the lights flashing. Come on. Just pull it over, dude. Pull it over. Come on. And you're like acting like, oh my gosh, is that me? You know, like when that guy goes, hey, you, and you're like looking around going like, what, me? You're like looking behind you. What, me? Is it me? And then, you know, you finally pull over and then you act surprised. Like, oh my gosh, officer. What did I do wrong? You know they got to be looking at you going, all right, fella, you know what you did wrong. We don't have to play cat and mouse over here. Just, you know what, just fess up. Just let me write you your ticket and you can be on about your day. So anyhow, they're really, I'm just telling you, they're really good at what they do. They have very well-trained eyes, and they have eyes of a hawk. And they're great at what they do. Trooper's very professional. I know I tease him and stuff, but he's professional all the way through, and that's why I give him a hard time. Because the other guys, they're just like, Doc, stop it. And I'm like, okay. And Trooper, nope. Trooper just looks at me like, what are you doing? Speeding? Look on his face like, I can't believe you just said that. Like, what? I mean, you got me fair and square. What am I going to do? Wiggle out of it? Oh, no, that wasn't me. You got there was the other guy behind you. That was not me. What was I supposed to do? Ask him if are you currently updated on your certification for your radar gun? Can I see that certification right now? Can I see your radar gun? Can you show me where I was going at the speed limit that you say I was going at? I don't think they can. No, I think they have to walk you back there now. It used to be they would just bring the gun up to you and they'd be like, look, see right there, that's your speed. See how it's flashing? That's your speed. Well, how do I know that wasn't the guy next to me? Because there was three of us. You just take my word for it. Take the ticket and I'll see you in court. Okay. So anyhow, troopers are always ready to answer the call, regardless of the threat. Trooper Morris is just one more example of the troopers who serve the citizens of Arkansas, and his heroic actions last December have made the badge of the state police shine a little brighter. So congratulations there, Trooper Morris, on getting Officer of the Year again. Like I said, I tease him just because, well, I can. And, there's a human hiding in there somewhere. They don't like to show it, but there is a human hiding in there somewhere. So if I have good rapport with them, I'm okay. It's the ones that I don't have good rapport with, that I don't know and they don't know me. And then I'm professional too. I don't mess around with them like I would with the guys around here. But the guys around here, we usually, it's what are you gonna do? You know each other. I mean, you catch up, we check in on each other, whatever. I don't know. Anyhow, they're professional and they do a great job out there, and I'm glad we have them. And thank you for your service. But I'm still gonna tease you guys, so just know that, all right? And you can tease me too. If I can dish it, I can take it too. We can have a little fun with it. All right, I got to get into this top of the hour and get into the 7 o'clock ABC News and local news up on the other side. Stick around, more to come right here on News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. I hear stuff like that, and it makes me think, this is why I wanted to learn how to play a bass guitar. I just like the way it picks off like that. That's just really cool. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. I'm going through some stuff here. That's Willie Nelson there. Yeah, Willie Nelson's coming to town. Oh, that's, what is that? June 22nd? Tickets go on sale April 29th. And show will begin at 7:30 with gates opening up at 6. But tickets will go on sale there. This is going to be interesting. May 12th. When is that? Will that be May 12th? Yeah, okay. So Thursday on May 12th? No. Yes, May 12th. Okay. So that Thursday morning, May 12th, I'll be in the studio doing this. And then May 13th, I'll be in Little Rock at the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, where Arkansas is broadcasting naturally. Get it? Natural state, because we're broadcasting. It's just natural to us. Get how they did that? That's thank you very much. Yeah, they'll be here all week. Anyhow, there's some engineering seminars and stuff I got to go to since I broke some things, and it's, they're like, maybe we should go ahead and send you to the engineering seminars so you can go sit with your brethren engineers and discuss what you did and talk about what you did and think about what you did. Hey, I'll put the station on the air. I found out that there is a transmitter. It's a 5 kilowatt, which is about, the same thing KBEU is running, but this one's an AM, that I installed back in 2008 in Mena. And it's still on the air. So, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that, man. And then I was like, yeah, dude, guess what? that transmitter that you installed all by yourself, still on the air, still running strong. I'm like, all right, man. So maybe I could do the KBEU one. And they're like, yeah, maybe not. But nice try, though. And I was like, all right, that's cool, whatever. And then things got turned around. Things got into a jam. It's like, dude, we need you. We need you, man. Now's the time, man. I need you to suit up, and I need you to get out there on that field, and I need you to play, man. I need you to take this thing home. And we got the transmitter on the air. And especially with the great thanks there to Alan Dane, Daddy Dane out there helping. I greatly appreciate that as well, helping me get that transmitter in there. Oh, a big shout out, too, by the way, to Billy over there at Buddy's. He helped me out in a situation. I was trying to get a vehicle home, and I had an issue with tires. And I was like, I just need some tires, and I just need it to go from where it's sitting onto a trailer. That's it. That's all I need tires for. He cut me a really good deal, and just wanted to give him a shout out and thank him and thank Billy over there at Buddy's Wrecker Service for helping me out on that. And I guess if you ever need any wreckering done, you can go ahead and give him a call. I didn't manage to pull off what I was trying to do, so I had to call. We call them Kellys, so I had to call a Kelly and have them come over and move a vehicle to get it from point A to point B that I was trying to do. So there you go. And man, that place has changed too. I don't think anybody even works there that I remember. That's crazy. Let's see. Real quick, I want to do this while we got time. And not only that, it's a slow day. So let me get into this here. Where is my thingy? Because I need... Nope, that's not it. That's breaking bed news. I don't want to be breaking news or anything because I want this one. There we go. Yes, that means it's time for our Booze and Trash of South Arkansas. Yeah, so we got some incident reports here, and some of these are kind of funny, except for one. Let me take a moment here to be a little serious here. I know we tease about these all the time, but let's take a moment here to be kind of serious about this here real quick. I had an incident report that I saw, and I was reading it, and as I kept reading it, I really didn't want to use it because the deal is that the person who got busted for shoplifting and stuff, they were stealing diapers and formula. That's all they were stealing. Not big screen TVs, not brand name items. No, nothing like that. Just trying to get the basics, diapers and formula. And especially in a time like this when inflation is high, jobs are, money. I mean, there's jobs out there, sure. But, when you get paid minimum wage and inflation shot up like it did, and I know everybody got a pay raise too. So, well, they're working $11 an hour. And it still didn't help, though, because the inflation just basically wiped out everything that they gained. So with that one, I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to, play on that one like we usually do with these other ones, especially when somebody gets tased. Then we're talking about that one. This one, though, my heart just went out to that person and reading that, and it's like, wow, that's really some hard times there. So I hope they get the help that they need, and somebody understands and maybe has a little compassion out there and decides not to help them out or whatever. Yeah. Anyhow, let's get back into it. Where's my thing at? Where'd it go? There we go. All right, we'll bring it back. So here's what we got. Let's see. This one is not my weed because my weed is in the other vehicle, and it's not my vehicle either. So back in March. Oh, let's see. This was early in the morning, too. Somebody got their day started early, didn't they? Tyson was out patrolling the area off of Highway 7 near Good Game when he observed an unlicensed Mazda 3 traveling south and then turned right on a Mount Holly Road. I know exactly where that is. So he initiated his emergency lights to conduct a traffic stop there on Mount Holly and right there in front of the fire station, right here by the station, too. So he did all that, and then he asked for the driver for his Arkansas driver's license and proof of insurance. And so the vehicle registration, too, you got to have that. So the driver advised that he didn't have his driver's license with him at the moment. I left that in my other pants. And the driver also advised the vehicle belonged to his girlfriend, too. This is not my vehicle. This is my girlfriend's vehicle. And she recently bought the vehicle. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because that's why we don't have anything on it. Yeah. So that's where Tyson performed a license check and a warrant check, and come to find out, dispatch advised that the driver's license was suspended for an FTA, which is failure to appear, in Hope, Arkansas, and had an ID only. So he's driving on a state ID, not a driver's license. Whoops! So that's where Gully was taken into custody. While they did inventory of the vehicle, they located a red and black Swisher Sweet pouch filled with some green leafy substance. Well, you know, Swisher Sweets is it's tobacco. And tobacco, when it comes to cigars, is usually brown, not green leafy. So that was consistent. That green leafy substance was consistent with the marijuanas and 2 cigars out there. So Ray's Towing stopped by, and they picked up the car. And so shortly after Gully's girlfriend, Chandria Christopher, arrived on scene and advised that that was her vehicle. Tyson spoke with Christopher regarding Gully and her insurance, and Christopher advised that she knew Gully didn't have a valid driver's license and only let him drive her vehicle because it was up the road, and he'd be right back. You know, he's just gonna go pick up some cigs, man. He'd be right back. But Christopher also advised that she didn't have a valid driver's license. She ain't got a driver's license either. See, that's what you do. But she wasn't driving. She's not the one who got caught driving, so she's not gonna. I mean, she's not going to jail or anything. Misery loves company. Yeah. She got weed. Well, he's sitting in the back of the cop car handcuffed. I'm making all this stuff up, by the way. No, not all of it, just part of it. I'm reading the part about where he's screaming at the back of the cop car. Yeah, I made that up. Let's see. Another one here. Oh, I had this dream one day. I went to work and nobody remembered who I was. Oh, I don't want to go on that one. You know what? We'll put that one off. That was a very bad day. Bad day for someone out there. And that involved a city employee, too. Now that I said that, a bunch of you know exactly who I'm talking about, and I'm just going to leave that one alone. Hey, I got some compassion every now and then. Just you know, sometimes just bad things happen to good people. Oh, a lot of gum for $126.43. That is a lot of gum. So this person was, this is Donnie Booth, and they were out there. No, I'm sorry, Donnie's the loss prevention manager. Whoops, let's not just throw him under the bus. Then I'd probably get banned from Walmart. Yeah, I heard what you said about me on the radio. You are never coming in my Walmart again. Alan Craig Cummings. This is, no, wait. Oh, we got 2 here. Michelin Page Williams and Craig Allen Cummings. So let's see. So they were doing stuff and things, right? Let's see. That's Sergeant Bush. No, I'm sorry, Lieutenant Bush. Sorry. Forgive me. Was dispatched to Walmart. You know where that's located at, right? For shoplifters, because they caught them some shoplifters. Yeah, they did. And so upon arrival, Bush made contact with the reporting person, arrest person, Donnie Booth. That's the loss prevention manager there. Also made contact with the 2 suspects, Williams and Cummings. So they said that Booth, stated that he was just, watching Williams and Cummings due to some suspicious activity he noticed from them while they were shopping. So Booth was kind of watching over Williams and Cummings, and was like, man, these guys are acting a little weird. So what's up with this? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch them on the camera and see what they do. And it's a good thing he was watching, too, because they did some really stupid stuff. Allegedly did some really stupid stuff. And stupid as a matter of opinion. So upon making it to the self-checkout there, Booth noticed Williams scanning several items by placing a pack of gum under the barcode. Now, Booth observed Cummings appearing to be a lookout and was helping Williams bag the items. Like, hey man, I'm a good friend here. Let me help you bag these here. So he was helping him bag the items. Booth stated Williams and Cummings scanned 4 items using a pack of gum, totaling $126.43. That's a lot of gum, dude. So they were stopped as they tried to leave the store with the merchandise. What? No, what are you talking about, man? We paid for everything, man. What are you talking about? No, man, you just trying around. Look at the receipt, man. We paid for everything. So Booth, Williams, and Cummings were arrested for shoplifting. So they were also picked up, and they were booked by Watch Commander Officer Lane, and Booth completed shoplifting affidavits on both Williams and Cummings. Cummings also is now banned due to his uncooperation with Booth. Additional, at the station, Williams was issued a criminal citation for shoplifting, and Cummings was issued a criminal citation for shoplifting as well. Both will have to appear in court, and after receiving their citation, they were pretty much released from custody, so they were free to go. Dude, I ain't gonna work here no more. Let's see. Ooh, she can bring home the bacon, baby. Let's see. We got time for this? Well, we got about a minute and a half. Let's see if we can dumb this down real quick. So, Officer Nathan Lane was dispatched out to Walmart for a shoplifting thing, and Gunaway stated he observed the security footage of Moffett scan 1 pack of bacon and then put 2 packs in a bag. He stated after stopping her, they observed also had taken the barcodes off of other produce in the store and placed them in other barcodes for things that they did scan. Then he said they also observed her not scanning a bag of potatoes. So with that, let's see. So the footage and the incident of everything, and they grabbed snacks and potatoes and all that, and basically a huge bulk thing of items. They took 7 items, totaling of $29.45. So they were taken into custody, booked, and have a court date, and all that stuff there. All right, I got to get into this break because we got the round table up next. Oh, boy, I got a bunch of these that we could go through, too. And I'll hang on to those. But, yeah, News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Hang on, my thing isn't coming up. Where is it? There it is. All right. I'm there now.
Oh, okay.
See, they mentioned like police officers and healthcare workers and stuff as they're not superheroes. They're heroes, but they're not superheroes.
I don't know, dude. I mean, they're a lot more super than you or me.
Well, I mean, in comparison, yeah, because I don't have any super anything. But I mean, when you talk about superheroes, that typically means that your parents died and you got some kind of a weird thing that happened to you, bit by a spider, get a high off the sun, or you got a fear of bats, and then poof, you're a superhero.
I like being a superhero.
But I don't know of any nurses or anything, that, got bit by spiders and, their parents died.
What about Catwoman? Wasn't she a nurse?
I can't remember.
Catwoman? Batwoman?
Catwoman. No, Batgirl was Gordon's daughter.
What, that was her profession? I guess it could have been because I never saw her do a lick of work.
Who, Batgirl?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because she was a teen.
Well, it doesn't matter. I kick them out of the house early.
Look, if you're going to go around fighting crime, you're old enough to get out.
Yeah. I'm here to tell you, you need to start paying your bills. Morning, boys and girls.
Go flaunting around town in that outfit, I tell you what.
Well, you've been catting around somewhere. All right, it's time for the Round Table, brought to you each and every weekday morning by our buddies out at Flaming Pig Barbecue. I like to start with Flaming Pig Barbecue because I don't know of any business out there that is given as much every day as a Flaming Pig is. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I'm not saying there's not other businesses out there that are given, because there are. But, oh my Lord, Clifton and Angela Humphreys just go out of their way to give. Wow. Flaming Pig Barbecue, some of the greatest barbecue on the planet, and they're for a worthy cause. This weekend, it's UCAP's Fur Baby Poker Run. That's Saturday. Top prize is $250. They got the 50-50 pot. They'll do that at 2 p.m. And, registration at 9. It's going on, kickstands up at El Dorado's Victory Church parking lot. It's only $20 a car. And, $10 for a passenger. So, just go down there and get her done. And get you some great barbecue. It's going to be fun. We're also brought to you by our friends out at SAU Tech. Tech had that great big job fair going on the other day, and man, that was a lot of fun. We want to thank them for having us out. If you're in the market for a job or a career or getting your education on, SAU Tech, man, get the full college experience in a 2-year college. You can even live out there. They got dorms. Cool stuff. Go to sautech.edu and check out all the information. We're brought to you by St. John's Place, 1400 Highway 79 Weeks 7 Bypass in Fordyce, and Washington Nursing and Rehab, 1411 Country Club Road right here in Camden. They are the choice for all of your rehabilitation and long-term care needs, and they provide award-winning short-term therapy services too. You can reach St. John's by dialing 870-352-2104 or 836-411-1. That will get you through to Washington Nursing and Rehab. First Choice Family Care, Dr. Jerication Smith, her and her staff, always looking for new patients. You can head over to their website, myfirstchoicecare.com, get you a new patient packet, and then call them up, 870-800-9002. Be sure to like the Facebook page. She's always got great information over there, too. We're brought to you by OCMC's Chemical Dependency Unit. They'd like me to remind you that you're not alone. Addiction's a tough thing to get past. Make the choice to be a better you, then call 870-836-1289, 1-800-232-1289. All calls are confidential. Are you yawning over there?
What, you heard that?
Yes.
Oops.
I am not that boring. Mitch Lowe's Body Shop.
You weren't supposed to hear that.
Auto body and collision repair, framework, glasswork, and refinishing. All accidents, large or small. You know you're doing a bang-up job when your program directors, you're doing my God. How long with it can you be? Right.
It was a late night.
Uh-huh. Mitch Lowe's Body Shop. If you find yourself in the ditch, just call Mitch, 837-2560. Steel Deals Incorporated. They've been serving Washita County and the surrounding area for more than 30 years. From large industrial projects to all of your smaller DIY crafts, Steel Deals has your material needs covered. 1615 Mount Holly Road in Camden, 870-231-5622. That's what happens when you ad-lib. Project discussion I did. Oh, that's not for me to read. That's for me to say. Yeah. Custom barbecue grills, fire pits, deer stands, kennels, metal buildings, trailers, fences, workbenches. Yeah, I mean, they pretty much do it all. Call them up. I bet they've got Prince Albert in a can. 231-5622. Stories, floor, and carpet. 2004 Lorraine in El Dorado. 870-862-9446. Stories, floor, and carpet. Always a big supporter of everything that we do. And they've even got a variety of flooring in stock if you need it in a hurry. Stop by the showroom or just give them a call. 870-862-9446. Everybody's Antiques down in El Dorado. They've got a great big bunch of antiques, and it's back. That's right. Their junk crawl in the spring is going down this Saturday, April 30th, from 9 to 5. Corner of Bradley and West Hillsboro. Booth-wide discounts will be available throughout the store, plus instant cash savings in the back. They're going to have Bills and Dimes food truck out there, too. So you guys get ready. The junk crawl in the spring is coming up. Are you all right over there?
No.
No?
Sounded like she fell out of her chair.
Well, no, I don't know if she was killing something or what.
There was a bug.
Oh.
A fly.
Doggone it, Doc.
I tried really hard.
Well, I am not an exterminator. I'm an engineer, damn it.
Well, you're supposed to be the director, right?
I don't direct the bugs. It's not my
Pest
circus.
director. I told you, if it started with a P, you were in charge of it. Program, pest, what was it? Oh, production.
Promotion.
Yeah, promotion. See? Now you're getting a
So you're
cabinet.
saying you did know what your job was?
No, not that one.
If it's a word that starts with a P, Doc's in charge with
I don't do potties.
Yes, you're the potty director, too.
No, I don't clean toilets, and I don't mess with bugs.
That is so untrue. You should see him. He was cute when he changed out the toilet seat back here.
I had to use it.
Yeah, what do we have that comes in? What word starts with P and means maintenance?
Preventive?
Yes, there we go. Preventive director, too. Okay. Steel Deals. Did we talk about them? Yeah, we talked about them. And Cabin Rural Health. Fine folks at Cabin Rural Health. Check out their website, cabun.org, or call 870-798-4299. Welcome to the studios, Dr. Jericacia Smith.
Good morning.
Dr. Smith. How are you?
Fantastic. How y'all doing?
You are fantastic, and we're just wonderful.
This is the question. Still got a couple questions from.
Right, and I only had an extra one come in this week, but it's a juicy one, so... I figured that should give you something to chew on for a minute.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got to go ahead and take this break. You guys give me just a couple of minutes. And
but if you have more questions, this is the time.
Yeah,
Get them to
absolutely. We've got the text line, Doc.
Yeah.
Text line.
501-313-0944.
I'm going to write that down eventually so I don't have to rely on our phone director.
Wow.
Well, you see how quick I did that, too,
Yeah, you're just making stuff up.
Uh-huh.
Paracommunications expert.
Yeah, you're really making stuff up.
That just sounds cool. I want to be that.
Yeah, but it doesn't come with the pay grade either.
Yeah, no, we pay you what you're worth, baby. All right, you guys hang out. We'll be back.
It's time to check the Radio Works South Arkansas Community Bulletin Board.
The second annual Catfish Crawfish fundraiser will be held at the Pine Grove Community Building on Saturday, May 21st from 5 p.m. until. Plates come with sides, drinks, and desserts, $15 per plate. Dine in or carry out. There will be chances sold for a $500 gift certificate from Hunter's Refuge for $5 each. You do not have to be present to win. Winner will be drawn the night of the fundraiser.
South Arkansas weather. Good Thursday morning, everybody. We're expecting mostly sunny skies throughout the day with temperature near 81. Winds will be coming out of the south-southeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low near 58. For Friday, we're expecting sunny skies and temperatures near 85. Friday night, clear and 65. Saturday, we've got a 50-50 shot at rain. It's going to be partly sunny and 83. Out of the Radio Works Weather Center, I'm JJ.
Local sports update.
Hello, sports fans, with a look at local games and scores. I'm Kelly Blair. The Harmony Grove Hornets will make a short trip down the road today to take on the Smackover Buckaroos in an 8-3A contest. The game was originally slated for Tuesday but had to be pushed back due to wet field conditions. The Hornets roll into the contest 22-2-1 on the year, which includes a 10-0 conference record. Smackover is currently 10-7 overall and 6-4 in conference play and is locked in a fierce battle with Rison, McGee, and Drew Central for the final 3 playoff spots for next week's regional. Not only are the Buckaroos desperate for a win, but they played their rival Harmony Grove extremely tough in their first meeting back on April 1st, leading most of the game before falling 11-10. Game time is set for 4:30 this evening and can be heard on Magic 104.5 FM on your radio dial. In other news, Traylon Burks was invited to attend the splashy NFL Draft Show at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas tonight as a strong first-round selection candidate. The early declarer from the University of Arkansas is expected to be one of the first wide receivers off the board during the 7-round draft. The first round of the draft will be held tonight at 7 p.m. Rounds 2 and 3 will be held Friday starting at 6, and rounds 4 through 7 will be held Saturday starting at 11 a.m. The neon glitz and strobe lights aren't exactly in the wheelhouse for Burks, who describes himself as a country boy at heart from Warren. So Burks, his fiancée Shelby Perlin, and invited guest will be at the draft party at a home in Searcy. From there, he will be involved in the NFL virtual draft coverage. Most mock drafts have Burks projected as a first-round pick, including number 19 to New Orleans or number 20 to Atlanta. That'll wrap it up for now with your sports update. I'm Kelly Blair. I'm the best there is at what I do, and what I do is sports.
Good morning, South Arkansas. It's time for the Ouachita River Report for Thursday, April 28th. Starting out with the river in Camden. Flood warnings in effect. The current gauge reading is 28.69 feet. Flood stage is 26 feet. Now, of course, at 28 feet, Sandy Beach Park and portions of the Riverwalk area off Washington Street are inundated. The river is expected to rise to a crest of 30 feet by early Friday morning. Flood warnings remain in effect until further notice at Thatcher Lock-In Dam. The current gauge reading is 84.7 feet. Flood stage is 79 feet at 85 feet. There may be some county roads along the river that are flooded. That may require lengthy detours. River is high and swift. Boaters should be very cautious. And finally, at Morro Bay State Park, the gauge reading is 82.6 feet with flood stage at 82 feet. That means that the water is lapping at the road to the park facilities, and river conditions need to be taken into consideration as to affect the park operations. Reliability of this forecast is based on current and forecasted river and weather conditions from the National Weather Service in Little Rock. You guys have a great week and be safe. And we're back on the round table. Is that too loud?
Not now.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little noise sensitive.
Well, I had Matt Stone in the studios yesterday, and he kept telling me, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down. We got all the way down to there, and I was like, dude, I can't hear. All right. Let's Doc Bryce. What are you doing over there? Are you yawning again?
No, I was looking at podcasts.
Oh, well, we was talking podcasts in here. That's right. Dr. Jarrett fixing to get on the podcast bandwagon.
Woo-woo.
So you guys look for more information on that.
Yeah.
Coming your way.
I bet it'll be on the Facebook page, and our I'll get it loaded up to our website too.
Links will be everywhere.
Everywhere.
Because Dr. Jarrett, she's more popular than anybody else in town right now.
Maybe I'll get my husband and take my face off the billboard for the podcast up.
Yeah, you could do that. But I really like the billboard, you know. I mean, every time I'm driving down Cash Road, I look up and there's Dr. Jarrett. I was like, oh, isn't that cute?
What's really funny is like the people that know me as kids, and they're like, I saw your face. Like, yeah, I'm kind of a celebrity. You need an autograph?
You know, I'm kind of a big deal.
I'm kind of a big deal. I have many leather-bound books. I'm just kidding. All right. You want to jump into questions? We still had a couple from last.
We had a couple holdovers, right?
Yes. I think we did the Can I Be Fat and Healthy? And I would urge, I mean, just
Doc Rice, did we answer all your questions on that?
What, being fat and healthy?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm healthy, and I'm in, you know.
I'll race you down to the stop sign.
Fat people are usually jolly people.
You're looking mighty fine in them there reading glasses you got on there, Doc
I ain't
Rice.
wearing no reading glasses.
And just to recap on that, too, just a quick snippet. I just read that question out loud, and man, we have got to talk kind to ourselves, you know. It's like just you know, if you can say it without feel, you know, I would urge you that not to say anything about yourself. Like, change your self-talk. That's the easiest thing. You don't have to diet, you don't have to exercise, you don't have to do anything, but one step towards a healthier lifestyle is appreciating the body that you're given. I can't give you a new one, and so the biggest thing that I think the biggest problem with people's overall health that I see is that a body insensitivity. They do not have good things. They have a bully that's living inside their brain, right? And you can practice not being mean to yourself. So.
Well, for me, as far as weight goes, okay, I mean, you know, like my whole life, I was, you know, $180.
Yeah.
180 pounds all my life. I hit 49, 50-ish, and the pounds started coming on. And, I mean, you know, it was my fault.
And the most important thing, that's why I like an annual wellness visit, because if I can catch you at 30 pounds, I can say, hey, what's going on? You know?
Exactly. Well,
and 30 is a lot easier. But back then, doctors didn't really bring up weight.
Right. And, you know, for me, again, I didn't have anybody tell me, hey, wow, man, you're putting on weight. So when I looked in the mirror, I just saw me.
You have to gain a lot of weight before you realize the difference, because you're just accustomed to that this is normal.
I stepped up on them scales and I was pushing 3, and I was like, you know what?
That kind of happened.
That happened right before you put me on my current diet, and you know, I came to Jerry and I was like, Dr. Smith, help me! I'm fat! So,
but the thing being is that I hear so many people, and I would tell you that I would love to be able to tell you that if you were back to $1.80, that you would love yourself. And the fact is that that's probably not true. That bully still lives there.
I don't want to get back to there, but I'm
just saying that even if you were your ideal, whatever you were shooting for, and if every person listening were everything that they thought they should be to be happy, that's not what gets you happiness. That's not what gets you a sense of self. Okay?
Absolutely.
So being rude to yourself is of the devil, and you've got to get rid of it.
Very counterproductive.
You've got a gremlin, and you've got to get rid of that gremlin. Because you should talk to yourself like you would a friend. Imagine you have a friend that's exactly like you are, and you're trying to help them, right? And that friend is sensitive.
You should see how I treat my friends.
Well, imagine that friend is sensitive, and
it's okay there, Will, buddy.
Don't say anything to yourself that you wouldn't say to that person, because you really can't talk. You've got to watch yourself talk.
I love you, Doc.
That's not self-talk.
Oh. Okay.
You'll be all right.
We got other questions, too, though. But I could talk about weight and body image and things for a long time.
Boy, I'm here to tell you, she lectured me on it. Hey, again, if you want to become a new patient out at First Choice Family Care, the best, or where you need to start, is the website.
Yeah, or the Facebook page. Or call the phone number, 870-800-9002.
And, you got room, right?
Yeah, I'm still taking new patients.
So, get on the bandwagon and do it now.
Yeah.
All right. What else you want to talk about this morning? What else did we have?
Is microwave food safe? And I would say yes. I would kind of preface that. I don't have a whole lot of data, and I'll tell people I've got 3 buckets that I get information from. My first bucket is like science, like blood pressure. I need to check this blood work every year. These are the medicines for these conditions. There's a lot of science and data to say, how to do everything, right? And so that is the evidence-based medicine. That is the gold standard. That's the bucket I like to use the most, right? Then kind of there's a middle bucket where I may not have all the data yet, but I have a lot of information, and I have to assimilate that with my scientific brain, because I'm a clinical scientist, right? I'm in my office. I'm trying to figure out what's best for you, and there's no book I can go get and see what exactly you should be on, right? And so each person, I'm trying to do a new evaluation and try to build a plan with them. And so sometimes, and I give the example of the middle bucket is kind of my medical opinion, right? It's not evidence-based medicine. I don't have as much data as I would like, but sometimes we still have to make decisions based on what I think that data is going to say in the future, right? Okay. And so, like, example of that is COVID vaccination during pregnancy. I know a lot about pregnancy. I know a lot about COVID. I know a lot about vaccinations. I know a lot about vaccinations in pregnancy. I know a lot about COVID during pregnancy. And so I can form a medical opinion based on those things, right? Because if I can prevent another pregnant woman from dying or having a preterm baby, I've had at least 2 to 3 patients that delivered 28, 30 weeks and then are spending weeks in the NICU, and the risk, so I can assimilate all this information and come up with a medical opinion. I don't have 20 years of data, but I'm trying to anticipate what 20 years of data is going to look like and try to make decisions now based on what I think it's going to be, right? And then we got my woo-woo bucket, things that aren't necessarily scientific, but aren't unscientific.
It's alive!
I read a whole lot of stuff and a whole lot of things, and so it's not just medical journals. I am on the internet as well, but with a very different skill set being on the internet. And when we get into microwaving things and just hot things, as far as eating, I really try to not heat up anything but glass or metal, because I do think that hot plastic can leave things in the food. And so sometimes I have to do what I have to do, but most of the time I try to avoid styrofoam. I try to avoid, I put all my plastic in the top rack of the dishwasher because it's a cooler setting on the dishwasher. The bottom rack's the hottest. And so I keep those things that are metal or glass on the bottom rack and try to stick the plastic on the top. I try not to reheat things in plastic or styrofoam. But so I don't think microwave food is unsafe. I don't think there's a lot of scientific data to say anything about anything. But for me and my family, some of the stuff, it would suggest that hot plastic maybe isn't the best thing.
Well, and it's my understanding that, with plastic, it's a petroleum product.
Yes.
So, with any petroleum product, once you heat it up, then chemicals do seep out. So, just be smart. And as Dr. Smith is saying, use some glass. Mm-hmm. Use a true paper plate.
Yeah.
Or paper towels.
Yeah. And I try not to. I don't live in fear. I don't think we're meant to live in fear. But, if you can make one choice or the other and it's easy to make either, then I would choose something that's not plastic.
Sure. And, go ahead and enjoy your microwave popcorn.
Yeah.
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 All right.
And then the last one from the other day was, should I go gluten-free? I think gluten-free is super popular right now. There are certain groups of people that have a true allergy to the proteins in gluten, and those people feel like death when they eat it. And if you can eat a sandwich with bread and feel fine, or cereal and feel fine, then you're probably not gluten intolerant. The only thing about gluten is that it's in the majority of those simple carbs, those easy, open, eat kind of carbs. And so if you went gluten-free, you'd eat a lot less of those. So I would say that would be healthier, but that's not because it's gluten-free. It's just that if you were to start weeding all that out, you would get rid of a lot of junk food, a lot of simple carbs, and you'd have to go to more complex carbs.
What makes food gluten-free?
Gluten is just a protein found in wheat, and so it has to, all food labels have to say, contains or was made in a facility that processes right on there, and it'll say wheat. And if it says contains wheat, then that's the sign that it's not gluten-free.
And how ticky? Now, I have heard, because I don't know, all right, I am not an expert on gluten by any means, but I have heard that if you are, let's say, making a gluten-free dough, all right, but you made a regular dough ahead of time and you didn't necessarily sanitize the surface before you started on your gluten-free thing, is it still gluten-free?
Not necessarily, and that has to do with how sensitive the person really is, because some people are just kind of see themselves as gluten intolerant, or it's not really an allergy. But people with true gluten allergy, I've seen people get their intestinal inflammation just from chapstick that had wheat in it, and they didn't realize it until they finally made the connection as to what was flaring their intestinal problems, and it's like they were using chapstick that wasn't gluten-free. And so those people can be very sensitive.
So.
Those people can be very sensitive. And the problem being, it's not about sanitizing it, because sanitizing it, you could spray it down with Lysol and it kills bacteria and viruses, right?
Sure.
It doesn't stop the protein. It's not a thing. It's not a living thing. It's a residue, right? And the protein can still be on it. It's now layered in Lysol, but it's still there, right? And so it's actually washing with soap and water, getting all of that off. And preferably, if you're really dealing with facilities that make gluten-free products, they process their gluten in a whole nother building because they don't want any of that residue transfer.
So, can you actually eat something gluten-free at a restaurant?
It'll at least be gluten lower for sure. If you have a true allergy, I would always try to avoid things that would have been cooked similarly, that would have gluten in it. And then the biggest thing is just if you're gluten intolerant, it doesn't matter. But if you have a true allergy and you have celiac disease, if you've been diagnosed with celiac disease, that's a true allergy to gluten, and you really have to be very cautious. Not so much that it's going to, it's not like I have someone I love that's allergic to shrimp, and every time I eat out with this person, I'm like telling the waitress, hey, that person's allergic to shellfish, because I don't want anything touching it, right?
Right.
And so if you have a true food allergy, that can be very dangerous, right? And you need to tell people. But celiac isn't you're going to pay for it, but not in a way that's, anaphylaxis. It's more like a contact dermatitis of the intestine. So it's like It's like a surface allergy of the intestine, kind of like when you get poison ivy on your arm.
Right.
I'm allergic to poison ivy, but I don't get hives and anaphylaxis from it, but I get a real good rash, right? Sure. And so people with celiac, it's kind of like that. It's not that they're having hives and anaphylaxis. It's that it causes inflammation along the lining of the gut.
Okay.
So.
All right. I think that pretty much covers it, right? I mean.
Yeah.
Again, if you've got more questions about this, you can always call in to the studio, 836-9559. We'd be more than happy to try and answer your questions. Or you can hit Dr. Smith up. 870-800-9002. You see, I did that without the card this time.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm getting better, okay? It's only been like 3 years.
And if you message our Facebook page, I can't give you medical advice so it's through Facebook, but I can always we'll take that question and I'll bring it here and we'll talk about it.
Absolutely. It maybe point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Help you out a little bit. As always, if you're worried about your health, if you're truly worried about your health, go see your doctor.
Yes, please.
Those wellness visits, I even have to do it. So,
if you don't feel like your doctor's hearing you, well, you might want to experiment.
Get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Come over to First Choice Family Care.
Yeah.
We love our patients.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike those other guys.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you. I tell people all the time, it's a relationship. You might get along better with one person than another, and that's fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you should find the relationship with your doctor that is benefiting you.
Absolutely.
If you feel taken care of and cared for and healthy, then great. You have a great relationship. Don't mess that up. But if there's something that you're just not jiving with, it's like this isn't, till death do us part. Like, if there's something that you're concerned about, bring it up to that person. Always, we're humans. I can't read your mind. If you have a concern, tell me about it, right? Don't hide it. We can work on that. We can work together to resolve problems. But I can't know there's a problem if you're not telling me.
It's not a big deal to play 20 questions with your doctor, okay? Just make sure your doctor has enough ammunition to answer those questions.
Well, and sometimes I tell people I don't have an answer, but hey, let's have you back at this time, or I'll have my nurse give you a call, or it's like I don't think I'm the smartest person in the world. I think my best quality is that I'm extremely resourceful. There you go. If I don't have an answer, I can find it. It might take time, but I can find it.
Dr. Smith, our very local Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Homette. Mrs. Holmes?
Mm-hmm. Dr. Holmes.
Dr. Holmes?
No, maybe I'm Watson.
Dr. Watson?
Maybe I'm Watson.
Watson was the smart one.
Yeah, I think Holmes had the drug addiction too. I'd rather not have that.
No opium?
Yeah, no thanks.
No? Okay.
No thanks.
All right. Moving right along.
There's one more, and this can be kind of a big question.
Controversial from time to time.
Yes. And so there are, it says, what are the benefits of stem cells and how are they used? First, I think we probably have to have a discussion of what actually is a stem cell, because I think that this is something that really gets politicized and stem cells are cells that have the ability of self-renewal and differentiation. So I could take a stem cell, like a true stem cell, and expose it to signals from skin cells, and it would become a skin cell. Or I could take that same stem cell and expose it to different signals, and it would become a bone cell. Like it's pluripotent stem cells can differentiate into different kinds of tissue given what environment that they're in. And so that's what a stem cell is. When a sperm and an egg meet and they start dividing, those are pluripotent stem cells. Those go from 1 cell to 2 cells to 4 cells to 8 cells, and it doubles like that. And those cells, you take any one of those cells, and that cell could become a bone, that cell could become an eyeball, that cell could, it could become anything in the whole body, because they divide up to a point and then differentiate into the different tissues over embryonic development, right? But even adults have stem cells. We have stem cells that help regenerate, and so just stem cells doesn't mean like aborted fetus, but there's other types of stem cells, and most stem cells that are pluripotent, that are used in research, right? That's a big thing about whether or not like these stem cells are, if you're supporting abortions, right? And the stem cells that are used in research were made from legal abortions from like the 60s and 70s. Like there's like a certain cell lines that come from like 5 different abortions, and they are used in a lot of research on how human cells work, how these stem cells differentiate, and they've led to a lot of discoveries. And so I don't think that those people have made choices, and I hope that they came to grips and resolved the things that those situations had led them to. But we can't lose something that was so good, right? If we didn't use any of the research, it didn't stop it from happening, right? But we can't say that loss we can't make a benefit from it, and so the silver lining, and so some things use that. Not all of them use that, and some use induced stem cells. Some research, so those are embryonic stem cells. Some people use adult stem cells, which are like tissue specific. So like your skin has certain stem cells, and tissues that have a lot of cell turnover, like the skin, have more stem cells. The blood has stem cells, because your blood turns over, right? You make new blood cells about every 3 months is the life of a blood cell, and so you have a lot of stem cells in that because that tissue turnover. Your skin, you slough off so much skin all day, every day. You have a lot of stem cells, so in the skin, and so there's adult stem cells that are tissue specific, and then there's like induced pluripotent stem cells where they're trying to take factors that they found in pluripotent embryonic stem cells and make mature cells change into those pluripotent cells. So taking skin stem cells and exposing them to factors that the embryonic stem cells have, and trying to turn them into pluripotent stem cells. So there's induced pluripotent stem cells as well, which that's kind of newer. And then all of these things, it says, what are the benefits? I would say that there's lots of benefits. Obviously, just learning how things interact, like drugs and treatments interact with human cells, is one of them. They're examples of, like in trials of using it in retinal problems, people that have lost the retina in their eye, or macular degeneration, those sorts of things, where they've lost their vision, and trying to use stem cells to try to regain that, because that's not a place you get stem cells. In the nervous system, the nerves, you don't have stem cells, so you have a stroke and that part of the brain is dead. There's no regeneration in the brain, and so there's examples of human stem cells being used in retinal, in Parkinson's disease, in spinal cord injuries, things that hit that nervous system that kind of change that person's life forever. And currently there's no way to fix it. We can make you feel more comfortable, but frequently there's not a treatment, if that makes sense. There's some research going on with heart attack, myocardial infarction, and heart failure, trying to regenerate parts of the heart that aren't working well. And then also in diabetes type 1, where you've lost your beta cells and trying to induce pluripotent stem cells to become beta cells so that person's pancreas can make insulin again. So, there's a whole bunch, and that's just a few things. That was just a quick. There's also trying to, there's cancer treatments that are using this type of research. There's tissue grafting. Like, there's so much that stem cell research is doing, and so benefits. I have heard, and I'm not sure, this is really early in like practice. There are people I've heard, patients that have had stem cell injections into a joint and had like near miraculous stories. Now that I didn't see the MRI before and the MRI after, right? I'm relying just on this person's experience, and I don't know how clinical they are, right? And so I'm sure there's some placebo effect. Everything has a placebo effect, but that's something that's kind of newer, and I actually have had a couple patients now that have had something like that done very recently, and so I'm excited to see where that goes. But I'm not really sure if I wasn't the one that did the procedure, so I'm not really sure what kind of stem cells they are, but the benefits are pretty crazy.
Okay. All right, Dr. Smith, thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, questions, comments, concerns, 836-9559. You can always call in on that or text in on that anonymous text line. That number again?
501-313-0944.
0944. All right, and don't forget to head on over to Dr. Smith's website, like the Facebook page, get you a new patient packet, call up the office, 870-800-9002, and see what First Choice Family Care can do for you.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Smith, thank you one more time.
I didn't make everybody too sleepy, right? I don't want.
Oh no, Doc was yawning when he came in during my opening. So, all right, guys and gals, it is the Round Table, brought to you Monday through Friday by all of our fine sponsors. Flaming Pig Barbecue. Don't forget the UCAP's Fur Baby Poker Run going on this weekend. Check out their Facebook page for more information. SAU Tech, they've got job openings for you to have a career in higher education. Go to their website, sautech.edu, for more information. St. John's Place and Washington Nursing and Rehab. Visit their websites and learn more about them, WashingtonNursing.com, and, of course, stjohnsplaceofarkansas.com. We've told you about First Choice Family Care. You need to experience it for yourself. The office is located at 476 Hospital Drive in Camden, 870-800-9002. As I am ever so fond of saying, Dr. Smith is my doctor, and she has made such a difference in my life. She'd help you, too. She's more than willing. All you got to do is give her a call. OCMC's Chemical Dependency Unit. Addiction's tough, man. You can get the help you need. Remember, all calls are confidential. 870-836-1289, 1-800-232-1289. Mitch Lowe's Body Shop. That's right. If you get put in the ditch, just call Mitch or Maria or Dave, man.
Who?
Dave.
Who is it?
Dave. 837-2560. We are brought to you by our friends out at Steel Deals Incorporated. They've been around for more than 30 years helping the folks around these parts. 1615 Mount Holly Road, 870-231-5622. They're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5. Storage, floor, and carpet quality you can count on since 1958. Don't forget, they've got that 6-foot wide boat carpet in stock. Financing is available with approved credit at Storage, Floor, and Carpet, 2004 Lorraine in El Dorado, 870-862-9446. Everybody's Antiques, their junk crawl in the spring is this weekend. Booth-wide discounts will be available throughout the store, plus instant cash savings in the back. Bills and Dimes food truck's going to be out there, too, so you can make an all-day event out of that one. Corner Bradley in West Hillsboro and El Dorado, everybody'santiques.com. And by Cabin Rural Health Services. Can't say enough fine things about the fine folks at the Fine Cabin Rural Health Services. They've got a wonderful facility over in Hampton. If you need help, that's what they're there for. Do it all in-house. Get more information on their website, cabun.org, or simply give them a call, 870-798-4299. One more time, Dr. Smith, thank you for coming in and giving us the 411 on, let's see, what we talked about today. We talked about stem cells, and we talked about gluten-free stuff, and we talked about radiation.
It's not radiation.
It's not radiation?
It is radiation.
No, it's not.
It is. It's a radio frequency. I work in radio frequency. It's radiation. In fact, the FCC recognizes this as effective radiated power. You're using radio frequency to energize a molecule to heat it up from the inside out, not the outside in.
But you're talking about like scientific descriptions, and we're not talking to scientific people here. So I do want to be super careful as to how we say things, because that can be taken really poorly, and I don't want the phone calls from that. So we're not talking about like X-ray, which is what people. That's what people think of radiation.
Well,
so I'd like to be super clear.
God, we've been bombed. It's a nuclear holocaust.
It's not radiation like what you're thinking. Like, that's not X-ray radiation. So, just to be real clear.
All right, guys, it's the round table. That's right. And you know what the great thing about the round table is?
What?
We all get along, even when we don't
Every
agree.
time.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, we got to get through this top of the hour stuff. Y'all hang out. We'll be back.
News Talk 92, KBEU Beer Den.
I'm sorry, can you clarify that last sentence for me?
That means the news and talk of South Arkansas on News Talk 92, KBEU.